to the address, you know, I finally just set all my SSHs up with, in the config file where I could put the interface on the address.
Mhm.
That works fine. But it would be nice to be able to just put the name in and let it pick it up.
Let's see what you-
Okay, setup should have it.
Hey, Lee, that's not a Mac, is it?
No.
Okay, I was gonna ask what happened to the Rolly. I was gonna assume you had been body snatched or something.
Where's the remote for this thing? Andrew, you haven't seen the remote for the projector, have you?
The panel right there starts it up.
Yeah.
It was on a moment ago.
Oh, I need to select input.
Just push the HDMI button. There you go.
There it is. It showed up for a moment.
For 3 seconds,
There it is again.
There we go.
4 seconds, 5 seconds. You can read what does he want to see here? I got the calendar.
All right. Well, welcome to the St. Louis Unix Users Group March meeting, February meeting, March, okay.
And our topic will be NTP, Network Time Protocol.
Now, for some reason, it doesn't sync right. Apparently, it just realized that today, or this week, was daylight savings time instead of last week, or Monday. Okay, now it didn't update.
Look around time zone.
That's what I had to do yesterday to get it working.
Still don't have it.
Now you're in Indiana, that's gonna make it worse. That makes everything worse, right?
Yeah, go to Chicago. There you go.
There, that's how you spell it.
I'm confused as to what Gary is actually doing.
I am making a sign to put in the hallway for the people who haven't been to this location before. They're wandering aimlessly in the hallway, wondering where the hell we are.
That should sync up. Okay. I go to Raspberry Pi meetups a lot, and there's actually one this weekend. Problem is, you don't have a lot of USB ports on most of them. So it'd really be nice to be able to use the wire port for an Ethernet connection. Unfortunately, that means you have to bring a router with you. So I got the bright idea trying to figure out, well, we should be able to figure out a way to route the Wi-Fi to the cable on this thing. And so far, I've been spectacularly unsuccessful in doing it. So I posed a question last week to the group. Let's do a group exercise and see if we can figure it out. I like to use Network Manager only because it simplifies things. It automatically connects to Wi-Fi networks. I do it by hand. If it doesn't work, I'd settle for either command line way to do it or YAS way to do it. And if somebody would take notes once we start getting something working, I'd appreciate it. So we can figure it out later.
How about a video recording of it there?
But then we gotta take the time to watch the video.
But you can see where the mouse clicks though.
Yeah. Anyway. You can see they're both on right now. I cannot reach Pi.
Can you change your text to white? That color scheme isn't white.
Change text to white.
It's a little hard to read the blue or
Okay.
black. Camera probably makes it worse. Cool.
Okay. If I turn off the physical interface, the wired interface, oh, wait a minute. With the wired interface on, I should be able to see it. Okay. With wired on, I can see it, but I can't get out.
So does your Raspberry Pi have a static IP address assigned to it? Is that how you want it to be
That's
used
what I
normally?
prefer to have it.
Is how you prefer to have it?
That way I can set a static IP and drop it on. I know where it is. I don't have to hook up a monitor to figure out what its IP address is. Or come up with some fancy UDP tool or something to figure it out. What I'd like to use on the cable line is 10.0.0.254. Because in the office, my network is 10.0.0. So basically this is substituting the gateway in my laptop. So any machine I grab from the network in the office with static IP, I can theoretically drop it on this machine, drop it on this network on the wire side, and be ready to go. But I cannot figure out how to get it to work. Because with the wired on, you can't get out. Destination unreachable.
Because your route is local. You have a default route set up local.
Actually, the default route.
I'm still looking at it right now.
192.168.
Oh, okay. Well, that's part of the problem.
Mhm.
Because the default route should be what?
I'm sorry?
I'm saying, what should I use for a default route?
Well, I would hope your WAN link or your wireless would be what you would want to use.
Okay.
But you would need the gateway on that network, of course. I did this with just a normal DHCP setup, and it worked fine with just clicking through the interface. So you want to do static.
So 10.31.128.1, right? So you're saying if I go into the wired configuration here,
I'm saying that should be empty. That's what I'm saying.
well, but it can't be static.
Sure it can.
Okay.
Sounds easy.
Let's try that.
Show us your routes.
shitting me?
Works.
So the change was no gateway.
Yeah, you never need a gateway on a local network.
Okay. I could have sworn I tested it that way. But I guess I did, I had something else.
Well, yeah, you're doing the static. There's a way to do this dynamic too, and Network Manager will auto-configure DNS mask for you
Right.
and set up the separate network, the translation, DNS server, everything for you.
Cool. Problem solved.
The other issue is the order of your interfaces coming up. So if you do have gateways on both of them, then the order.
No, the camera's not refreshing.
That's okay.
Anyway, something didn't come up on that. Cool.
That's okay.
So we can-
Lee, for long term though,
Yeah.
you could create on your Raspberry Pi 2 interfaces.
Well, that's sort of what I was trying to do here. I've got a Pi Lab and a normal.
No. On the Raspberry Pi, create a primary interface that's always DHCP, and create a secondary interface that is always sitting at the IP address you expect it to be. And that way, if you plug into pretty much anything, it can get internet access. And then you can still connect to it by a known IP address.
Because with the DHCP, it'll pull a default route.
Correct.
And I can still get there directly using the static IP.
Yeah.
Okay. So make a second note on that for me.
It's recorded.
Well, I haven't figured out how to play them yet.
Haven't figured out how to play YouTube?
No, oh, I'm sorry, I keep thinking of your Google Plus stuff I get every day. When you post.
So how would you set up 2 networks on a Pi?
So you just have a ETH0, and then you'd have ETH0:1, creates a virtual interface on the exact same physical device.
So in that case, the same physical device is using,
So for example, see where that says iFace Ethernet 0,
Yeah.
iNet static? You could call that iFace Ethernet 0:2 is a prefix. You could call it Bob, you could call it Larry, you could call it Susan. And then you have to give it more information about which device to connect to. So for example, see where it says address, net mask, and gateway?
Yeah.
You can actually put in MAC address and actually have it bind to a certain MAC address too.
So you're saying like that, Andrew?
So like that.
iFace Ethernet, iNet, after the ETH0, put :1 behind it.
You got that up
I had one
above.
up there.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. And then, yeah,
Does
and then,
one take precedence over the other if there's 2?
So I should have that one first, right? Because that way it'll force the default.
well, what
route.
you'll want is a special, hold on a second, here's, you would change that from static to manual. iFace ETH0 iNet static, change that to manual. And let me grab the rest of that command. Oh, somewhere here. This is SUSE or Ubuntu.
This is Debian.
Okay.
I thought you had to do this in season.
I have my laptop. No. It's on a Pi. Pi doesn't have horsepower to run good on the KE. Or at least I do.
I bet the new Pi does.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also run Windows. I wonder how much Microsoft donated.
So what you want there on the manual, after your gateway, you don't even need a gateway on that because it's always a local network. But yeah, you replace that gateway and you would do a post.
I can comment these out, right?
Yeah, just coming out and put in let's see here. How do we want to do this for you? So we want to do well, that's for a bridge. You can do a post, or no, a pre-up space ifconfig yeah, and then $ uppercase iface space up, and lowercase up in this case. And what this does is that during the processing, before it goes ahead and configures this, it will bring it up dry, so you don't have to have a network cable plugged in. So that way you can unplug and plug in whatever, that network interface stays up all the time. So it's a dry interface at that point. And that's
On ETH0, when you plug and unplug, it'll pull a DHCP and a gateway and a subnet.
correct, as long as it's set to auto.
DHCP is auto, right?
At the very top, you have auto for local.
Oh, but ETH0 up there?
Yeah, you can put ETH0 there. But because of one of the sub interfaces is going to bring the link level up, it will be up at the point, so it's fine. But the pre-up and post-up are what you can use to run commands. There's pre-up, post-up, pre-down, post-down. They'll run commands to use for like setting up bridging or having it configure DNS mask the way you want it to be. Yeah, exactly. So that you can do all kinds of craziness.
Cool.
What man page is this in?
This, just the interfaces file. So if you search for Debian wiki interfaces, they have an entire page that describes all of this. But yeah, you could write your entire server inside the interfaces file if you wanted to.
Anything else we should pass along, Andrew, or should we?
The only other thing I would do is you would probably want to set your DNS server if you want to be really secure, because sometimes the DNS servers provided by DHCP are less than trustful.
Oh, I always force it to Google.
Right, but I'm saying is that at the Pi here, we have enabled DHCP now.
Oh, okay.
So we could have technically your local connection running without DNS, but then the DHCP connection would be using the DNS of the DHCP server. So you could just put your name server line. Let me find that here. So in the interfaces file would be DNS-name servers and then a space separated list.
One 4422.
Yeah.
That's level 3 or something.
It was GTE originally. It's level 3 today. You don't need that tailing dot though. There you go. And right there behind your gateway, up there, just write out that it's unnecessary and confusing on that, because that gateway is technically a default gateway for that interface.
Yes.
Cool. Anything else?
To do this, do you want to go back to that network manager interface? And let's go ahead and just show everybody, just add a profile, or you can configure that one actually if you want to configure that one. An IPv4 tab. If you look on the side there, it says manual. we don't have to save any of this. I just want to show. Click on that. Oh, this is. What version of Network Manager is this?
No? Current 13.2.
No, the version of Network Manager.
Oh, good question. What's the best way to find out for this package?
So on.
Would it be under details at the top?
No, that's for the interface.
Yeah. So on
Hang on a second, I'm not sure there's any other way. to
that's
see
okay.
it.
On a recent version that I tested out earlier, the options were automatic only address.
So yeah, if you want to spend the day talking about all kinds of different SUSE stuff, should be a good day tomorrow. So, let's see, other things. You found the new address?
Yes, I got it for Sam.
Okay.
I'll change it later. For those that watch this Security Now podcast, Tuesday, Steve Gibson was sick, plus Apple had some kind of crazy announcement about something he can't do. And he's going to be doing the Security Now podcast, netcast, tomorrow at 10, St. Louis time. And the other announcement I have is the St. Louis Linux User Group for seniors now goes from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. on the second Friday of each month. So we had it extended a half hour because we ran into some issues last time that we didn't want to face again.
You do realize this could conflict with getting to Steak and Shake in time to indulge in the happy hour.
We finished early, we finished early.
Gotta have your priorities straight there.
The point is that, if I have to pack up stuff and everybody else goes and orders something for me, I wouldn't object.
And pays for you.
Do what?
And pays for you also.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Oh, boy.
At least I do.
Yeah, there we go. By the way, if anybody is, if it's their first time or if you haven't been here in a long time, just out of curiosity, nudge Stan on your way out. He just wants to keep track of where people got the information to come tonight. So just let Stan know, if you saw us online at Meetup or on the calendar or what got you here tonight.
Has anybody looked at our new meetup page on the meetup.com? Okay. Well, there are 3 other people who are supposed to be here and they haven't shown up. So. I think lost in the parking lot.
I will admit, meetup attendees are notoriously flaky.
Flaky pickle,
So,
as far as attendance goes. Otherwise, they're perfectly normal human beings, right? We are being recorded, right?
for those of you who do occasionally get on Meetup, if you would go out and actually join our Meetup group, there's one theory that, of course, if people see more people as members of a group, it encourages them to take part and interact. So it probably helps if you can go out and put on the Meetup group that you're a member, so that people think there are more of us.
And this is all an experiment. We just don't know how well it's going to work.
Any other announcements? Actually, next week, Wednesday, is the SUSE Linux lunch and Novell user group lunch. The topic is Node management systems by Novell.
Really?
Yeah. At least that's what Gary Hollingsworth tells me. You remember something different, Sam?
All I remember is the chicken pot pie. Tremendous.
We can tell what Sam pays attention to at that meeting. Let's see, next Thursday of all nights is the St. Louis Linux user group meeting, where, presuming that Craig has way more material than he can finish tonight, we'll hear part 2 of what Craig's going to start us on tonight. So, any more details on that you care to elaborate?
Today's like the high level stuff and like HTML. Next week will be HTTP, like the protocol, how the browser talks to the web server.
Cool.
So next month, are you going to talk about pop under ads?
That's really low level.
No, the correct question is how to disable pop-under ads. How to prevent them.
Stop buying what they're selling.
Put them on your blacklist, as I will never buy this product. Oh, go ahead. Answer the question.
What is pop under ads?
We were being humorous.
Oh, yeah.
There was a concept many years ago, pop under ads. That was back when people were more evil.
Actually, I think they're still there, because every now and then you.
I don't go to those websites, Gary.
Okay. Other announcements? Have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so, Gary.
Check the calendar.
Check the calendar. Double check with, but, oh, there was an election, last month, and, yes, people did win, and, the incumbents won, so everybody, say, hi Stan, congratulations.
Hi,
You're
Gary,
once again on the board of directors. So, and, Jeff, who isn't here this evening, was also reelected, so, any other announcements? Hearing none. Q&A, anybody got any questions of a generic nature? You can ask anything you want. The little computer type stuff probably has a better chance of getting an answer. One question somebody asked me to pass on, just as I was heading off to the meeting, they're looking for an open source, multi-layer marketing program. To run their
Campaign
business with.
management?
Campaign management.
I did a talk about that about almost a year ago.
I was thinking, yeah, okay. Okay, now it's coming back to me. Yeah, okay. I will go back and look in the archives.
So I'll put a link on the discuss list because the discuss list is where we put all answers to questions.
There we go. There we go.
And then we offer points to people who can figure out what the question was.
For those that use too many abbreviations, that's the common factor. What the hell is that abbreviation?
Question?
Dan, I have-
Hold on one second, got
Yeah.
one in the back.
My name is Ron Coe, and I'm here for the first time. I found out about you through Meetup, and I'm an old-time programmer. I started out in the 70s on mainframes, and I've been on Unix about the last 6 or 7 years. I was at AT&T until September 13. So I've had some time to goof around, and now I'm ready to get prepared to go back to work again. But to do that, I want to install Fedora distribution on one of my old PCs, and I could use some help from some of you guys or anybody brave enough to. Okay, is there a better distribution?
I recommend Linux Mint for beginners to Linux.
I've been using Unix. I've been using Unix for years.
Well, Linux is a free version of Unix, okay? Just like Fedora is, just like Red Hat is. We sometimes do installations on laptops at the Linux beginners meeting that meets at Hazelwood Prairie Commons Library Branch, the 4th Tuesday of the month. On the 2nd Friday of every month, we have a daytime Linux group for seniors that meets from 1 to 3:30. And if you're not 55 or older, we don't hold that against you because age and treachery overcome youth and vigor every time. Plus, I've been known to help people install stuff on the phone with them. So,
Is it? I think I'm up to installing it. I like it because it's got Eclipse and some other things in the distribution that I want to put on there.
right. There's a number of reasons for using I think the Linux Mint distribution for beginners, and a lot of people move on to other things. I used to be Red Hat fan for years up until about Fedora 9, and then I switched over to Ubuntu because running the beginner group, I figured I need to be more in tune to what I was recommending to beginners. And then Ubuntu did some of their typical corporate things and decided you were going to do things that just really upset the traditional usage. And so then I went to Linux Mint and started recommending that.
Is that Ubuntu?
Correct.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Unix? Have you ever, if you wanted a very Unix-like distribution, there's one called Slackware, which you can download the CD.
So if you wanted something that's, what programming languages are you working on? RPG or something?
Perl?
It's not going to look at our projector, it's like one
Let's
case.
see. I'm working with Java now.
Okay. And are there any type of frameworks you just Spring or?
Yeah, you choose Fedora because a lot of the industrial stuff goes with Red Hat, and Fedora is the free version of Red Hat?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think it would be a fun exercise at the Hazelwood Log to install Fedora, wouldn't, don't you think, Stan?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Come on over and do it, yeah.
I don't need to inflict pain on anyone.
Okay.
Not that hard.
Every meeting is painful.
People have broken arm heals after a while.
You know, I usually start the meetings and after about 5 or 10 minutes, the phone control, and it's chaos, and it's a lot of fun.
So I'll take that with you.
Also, can you give an idea of what, when you said an old machine or something, you said how old, how big, how much, whatever?
I had 4 to choose from going back to Windows 95s. I think
We've got a,
there's one on XP.
we've got a Linux version, a different Linux version will run on each one of them.
You just have to be careful, you don't try to put it on the machine, it's not big enough for it.
Yeah, it's funny though, it's really flexible from what I've heard, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Because I saw years ago, the guys at Sandia Labs, where they make, design nuclear bombs, they had made a supercomputer with using Linux that was on about 20.
Not just Sandia, but also the military clusters nowadays are Red Hat based.
Almost. 93, the top supercomputers in percent of the,
93%,
how many?
93%.
93%, I was gonna say 93 out
The
of
top
100.
500 supercomputers.
Just be-
in the United States.
Yeah, but be careful with that. Some of them don't disclose their actual OS.
Of course.
So
We just know it's not
When I was
Microsoft.
working at AT&T, they had an internal message system where you could, they called it queue. And you could get anybody on the list. And just out of curiosity, I looked up David Korn, who used to be in AT&T Labs and invented the Korn shell. And it always made me feel great up to my last day that if I ever had something screwed up in Unix, I could just get him on there. I'm sure he would be really glad to have some monkey asking some stupid question.
There is no such thing as a stupid question. The rule of thumb at the beginner group is whatever the newest guy in the room wants to do, that's what we do. That's what we look at, that's what we explore. And the senior groups, I can't remember what we do.
Neither can anyone else.
I just thought that was really a nice backup. They have him available anytime I wanted to kill him.
We have a mailing list, we call it Discuss. You go to our website, you can sign up there, you can ask dumb questions there, if you think they're dumb, or you can send it to me. And what I usually, if I try to answer it, I'll post your question and the answer on Discuss, because I'm not always right. But I don't like getting questions because it takes me all day to write a response. It really does. But, can't remember why.
So what he was talking about is on our website, on the homepage. If you go under resources and down the line is mailing lists, you can join the Discuss group right there. And it's
Or
a
if
friendly
you put your email address on the sheet I see, and I'll just forward you a subscription. You respond to it, it'll get you on Discuss.
Thanks very much. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys better.
Well, maybe not.
You'll change your mind.
we're of course happy to have you. Phil and Gary usually run the Slack meeting. Something like installing Fedora would also happen there, yes?
It's a Linux configuration workshop. And, I installed something with somebody last month. I can't remember what it was.
So
Windows.
the Slack meeting on the first Thursday, or the senior group, or the Hazelwood group, all of them would be a good place to do this.
Yes,
Stan says he's offering to kind of be another resource besides the Discuss
yeah, I
group
think the
itself.
Slack meeting, the resolution was to eject the SD card, right?
Yes. And some of these meetings, we have 3 or 4 things going at once, so hard to keep track.
Okay, you sir.
I have an old laptop, IBM T laptop, and I need a good recommendation on a good dongle to put on it so I can get to work, because I can't pick my all the things I've seen,
What do you mean by dongle?
the thing you plug in so you can do wireless. It doesn't have a
Oh,
wireless
right.
built-in.
Okay.
That's what I hear called dongles.
How old is it? Does it have USB?
Pardon?
Does it have USB?
Is it T20 series or
T22,
22?
Yeah.
It has wireless.
not built in.
I didn't know the 20s could have it without.
Well.
Are you saying it's not built in, or you're saying it's not detected?
And his probably
Some
doesn't.
of the old
have
ones
that.
get it hard to be put inside.
I mean, I tried to get NDS wrapper and stuff to work, but
Okay.
Check to see if it has.
Probably your best bet is going to be a wireless bridge, okay? So you can buy for about $18 a little network device that will bridge wireless onto a wired connection. So then you don't need to worry about a little dongle.
so you just plug it into this bridge, like you plug it in like, it works fine on Ethernet, just plug
Right.
that Ethernet point into that thing.
Yeah, but additionally, some of these little wireless bridges have an Ethernet jack or have a USB jack on them so that they also become wireless network cards at the exact same moment.
So we're
So
gonna get one.
TP-Link,
So that thing wouldn't work?
that has very poor reception, that's sadly. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's
Well, they make it one with an antenna on it too, the same deal.
correct. Yeah, we'll go down there to the, oh, it's a Mac, you have to do everything in reverse.
Scrolling.
Unless you check that.
God, that's for
Micro
sure.
Center, I bought a $18 thumb. Yeah, that type
Well,
of-
so the problem is that some of the cheaper models
Yeah.
have the more proprietary firmwares they need.
Yeah.
And so if we stick with something that has like a nice Intel chip in it, and then he installs the firmware, it's much easier. It sounded like he had like NDSI wrapper, which is like for loading software images onto the USB device so that it can start up.
And sometimes with the Ethernet card, it's there, but the system doesn't recognize it, and there's command line things you can do to turn them on. I think the one with RF bill or something like that.
If he's doing LSPCI to see if there's anything connected?
Yeah, and if I take this, I've got like a Realtek one I plug in, it do LSUSB, and it recognizes it and stuff like that, and I go searching, it says, here's where your driver is, and I go, now what do I do? You know, and so I'm looking for something,
Well, that's,
EENDIS.
yeah, and I downloaded that, I must not, I'm looking for a bit, maybe what I'm looking for is a basic how to do NDS wrapper. Was it,
I never have figured that one out myself.
There's a, if you look in the reading site, it'll tell you how to.
But the thing is, you really need to come to one of these groups and the workshops or whatever, and try and fix it there. Because usually we have 2 or 3 people on field all this stuff, Mary McKee all this stuff.
I had it working one time, and I can't figure out what I did, and I had to restore it, and lost it.
Yes, I usually carry one of these around with me. It's just a little tiny do everything box.
GPI? Is that, it's called GPI?
Yeah, I can put this on the mailing list if that helps you.
You just gonna put it on as a dispenser?
That's fine.
Okay, so that's kind of wind up undiscussed. Need any more follow-up on that?
Anyway, for 18 months. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, no, I'm not saying we're not invited, I'm just saying is that sometimes things like this can make your life really easy because it's dedicated device and, you know, it does lots of other things.
Okay. And Lee, you had a question?
Yeah, along the same lines as the question Andrew answered a while back. I was at a friend of mine this morning, and he's trying to play with ACT and Sales Ally, and it's just not working for him. Is anybody aware of an open source, reasonable CRM type tool?
I just send that to the mailing list.
The same one?
It's
That you mentioned?
Udo, yeah, it does everything.
Okay. And it has a Windows build?
I did my first commit to that project in 1997. It's been around for a long time.
Okay, and Stan?
And kind of a call for help. I did this BIM cheat sheet up, and I'd like critique on it, and then if I made any spelling mistakes or concept mistakes or anything like that, if anybody'd like to help. And I've already put the PDF up on our resources. If you'd like to look at it. And of note, on the very back panel, it's folded, the bottom part where it talks about tabs. If I'm not happy with that, that's probably going to go away. So if anybody finds any mistakes on there, please let me know.
And, see, causes to.
I plan on adding a little, the bottom section on the back panel of some stuff about folding, which is really neat. I use it all the time in Vim.
Another thing that'd be nice to have on there is so you can put colors on, if you look at, if you go into change the colors and make what things, the color, like I have problems with color vision problem.
Right.
Where you can go in and change the colors on like keywords, and comments and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind if I have room.
So I know,
Well, syntax highlighting is just, you just tell it which syntax to highlight.
There's a whole-
The Android device, there's a few, Vim, cheat sheets like this that you can download.
The idea here is to give it to some of the newcomers to encourage them to start using Vim. Anybody here use Vim, started using Vim in the last year?
Stanford, I think you should get equal time.
Well, Unix, what's that?
No, it's a 20-year-old project to get a text configuration file right.
Okay, we gotta get moving on here. So, by the way, with regard to the pamphlets, the Vim pamphlet and the other one, if any of you do go to this SUSE Linux Expert Day tomorrow, or it's also that very Raspberry Pi on Pi Day, Saturday, by all means, tell the people at those events that, hey, you know, there's a Unix Linux group here in town, and point them to our calendar and hand them a brochure and let them know they're welcome to come. Any other?
I brought two tonight, one from me and one from Carl, so we'll do Carl's first.
Oh, okay.
He posted to discuss and didn't get your response. So all of you with laptops in front of you, pick your favorite account on your laptop and change the age of the password to do a CHH-L account name to see what it currently is. Then do a CHH-D and the word today. Then do a CHH-L and see what it is now. And tell me what you get. This is an exercise. Requires group participation.
I don't know if Craig should be doing it because I have this great
Yeah.
fear that we're not going to have
free time, I decided, okay, I'll install Linux version X on this and put whatever disk in there. It comes up with that. It was failing the install, so I just did the little mem test thing, and mem test crashed all over everything. So I wound up replacing the motherboard in that system. The code that didn't work before all of a sudden worked fine.
Because it doesn't leave any symptoms in dmessage or syslog or whatever. I mean, because if the executable panics, then the OS can write error messages. But when the OS panics, it just goes down.
Yeah, it depends on whose stack you're stepping on, that kind of stuff.
All right, so memtest, live CD, and what was the other one, Andrew?
Dev share mem.
Dev share mem. Thank you.
Just create a file into deb share mem, and the you can do a DD and just do a bite size so that you can keep track of it easier.
Yeah.
And then you can just keep on padding on to the same file, so it's just a little bit easier to manage. But yeah, if it is RAM.
Stan, when's the Linux beginners meeting? When's the hardware diagnostics club meet?
That was the Slack this month, yeah.
The Slack is on the first Thursday. The senior group is on the second Friday. And the beginner group is on the fourth Tuesday.
Thank you.
Also known as see the calendar. Okay, anything else? Okay, there supposedly will be cheesecake with fruit, providing Valerie gets the crises in the machine room under control. So save room for dessert, hopefully. And come on, go find the restroom, get some pizza, come back in 10 minutes, and we'll start with everything you ever know about the internet.
Yes, hi.
Well, whatever.
Hello, Bob, how's it going?
This has expanded my talk by another 8 hours.
The answer's 7, whatever the question is.
I already have my 8 hours here.
And some of them, when they're coming up, you see a bunch of messages that come up, go on. And I can't find those messages anywhere in any log, and I'm wondering if they're being.
Do you mean these messages right here? Let me get
That's what I do. All my drawings, all my stuff.
The things that we'll see is your results coming up.
That's all our fault.
How the web works.
It does?
That's an easy answer. Quite well.
Is that readable with that background, guys?
Messages are being presented on screen and stuff, but it's happening so early in the boot before it's actually got enough. Enough smart so it doesn't write for a while.
No, it's getting you just literally type in the message and it shows you the higher the ball or the current section.
These rather than that.
Sorry?
These rather than that. Just things like you say started, something started.
It's like the abandoned
A bunch of okay.
Okay, that stuff is part of your operating system, that's no longer part of your kernel. So that's your system 5.
Somebody else had written that one.
Something as system 5. Yeah, those types of things would not normally be kept.
They're not kept anywhere, and you see it when you're shutting it down too.
Yeah, those would be kept.
Okay. Because if you look at that,
If there's an error, if you log an error to the system.
so they're not kept anywhere, and I'm not, they're possibly so early in the presentation, before you have enough smart so you can put it out to a reference file.
No, theoretically, hold it, historically, an error in that section has been, that is normally kept.
Because a lot of these things are coming up, and then it's popular, I see someone go and goes, okay, so it's showing you things are happening. And those are the kind of things that I would think, and why they wouldn't think that would be something we'd want to see. I don't know. Especially considering all the other.
You know, if you're troubleshooting an issue, you can find the service, you can restart and watch it on your local standard hours.
So it's not, we're not spending more time looking for. To the back. Instead of having
Was not clear.
Well, Bob, you have a question? I'm sorry. Well, check on another, and, they don't really have it. I thought maybe. The problem is, it's already filled up. Sometimes that's very hard. And it looks like. But on yours.
Hey, Stanford?
You know.
Wow.
And he, created all the stuff on it. And he, whenever I get a I was watching TV. Okay.
How much right here machine do we? Yeah. I've heard of I think the PI being is being one of the first.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do at the time. I thought it was at least safety. Well, yeah, typically.
We know that.
What they did.
Unless my grandpa said they came from High Germany, there's no such thing. Now, I have water Polish, but that name is Turek. I'm pretty sure you're like southeastern Europe, and the names like that are Croatian, and they're Catholics, so that's another indication of Croatian. A lot of UK names are Croatian, so that's my best guess. But we found that name in Ukraine, I think. There's also two different families in St. Louis that share the name and as far as not more than third or fourth cousins.
There's people that spell their name the same way I do, except they have two N's.
That's when we're like, you come over, let's say you came over in 1908 in Ellis Island, and they say, what's your name? And how do you spell it? I don't know how to write. Yeah. Okay, here you go. This is what I heard.
My ancestors came here in the 1700s. The guy whose name he was educated. He could sign his own name.
I don't know. I have no idea. And we've always got Thursday. So that's kind of how long it takes me. I only have
Oh, no, I'm just trying to find this today thing. Whether it was serial or USB. Yeah, work.
And then I just did a Google search. Anybody ever been working with HP Entertainment Model Language? And I found one where everybody was responding, what's your name? So you have to wait download LIRC, it creates two config files, one called LIRC config, another one called LIRC hardware config. And it's one site you can download because it's got administrative config files, because each one is config file. A little sound shows us one.
It's like technology.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Linux, it's not Windows.
No, yeah.
And then the other thing was cost, which you actually watch on Little remote actually has a Windows one. And when I press it starts some crazy.
Yep, so you can demonstrate this at the next meeting.
Oh, that's all I told you is I know.
But you can still talk about it.
Well, that's
I'm getting tired of hearing talk so much. I need to get you guys up there in front of
What you
me.
just heard is all I would have to say about it.
Well, let's get this changing of age thing put on the discuss list here.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that when I get home.
Now I'm gonna put the solution on here, right here.
Oh, there's a solution.
Yeah, it just,
Well, I was even curious, like, well, if it's never been changed, what is that command supposed to be from?
it's doing what it has been programmed to do for 20 years.
So it doesn't even have a result that says never been changed.
No, it does. Actually, it does. It's got lots of results.
Okay, I know you're all having fun, but we probably should continue on with other fun. Yeah, won't work.
Gary, I want to know if that shirt is pumpkin or peach?
Salmon.
I should have checked the Garanimals tag when I put it on this morning.
It's more of an ostrich.
See what animal it matches, yeah. Alrighty, so continuing on with our presentations for the evening, we have Craig Buchek, who's our long time secretary of the group, served a number of other roles in this group, and currently is the owner of his own consulting firm, and he can tell you what things his consulting firm are doing, and I'll turn it over to Craig.
Is he making the web work?
Not the whole web, just little tiny portions of it. All right, so this is how the web works, part one. I've been thinking about this presentation for a long time, and there's a lot to talk about. So I've subtitled it, Everything You Ever or Never Wanted to Know About How the Web Works. All right, if you guys want to give me feedback, you can hit me up Twitter. My presentations are up on GitHub. You can also email me at that address. If you want to follow along with the presentation, I made a few minor updates since I published it there, I think, but that's bit.do/htww, how the web works. And I'll have that again at the end. Please ask questions during the presentation. We can make that as interactive as you want. We can make it go slower, faster, whatever.
What happened to Buchek.com?
That's still there.
Okay, it's not up there.
Buchek right there. You can go there.
Email.
I have like 8 different sites. So, all right. So I'm an independent web developer. I've got my own company called Buchek, which is spelled completely different than my name, but it's pronounced almost the same. I'm subcontracting to my buddy's company, Binary Noggin, and we're working at Mercy doing some web development. I've been doing Ruby and Rails since 2006. Been doing web stuff way before that. I also am an Agile practitioner doing Agile methodologies, and I participate in a podcast called This Agile Life, which has 1,000 listeners every week, so that's pretty cool. You may remember me from such previous presentations as everything you ever wanted to know about hard drives, everything you ever wanted to know about HDTV, and compiling the Linux kernel. Does anyone remember compiling the Linux kernel?
That was a long time ago.
2000.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. All right, so today we're going to talk about the history of the web, web browsers, web servers, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a few things related to those. Next week we're going to talk about mostly HTTP.
I want to go back one slide.
Okay.
For the fact that compiling the Linux kernel was not underlined, does that mean there is no URL for it? In other words, that was before the web worked?
It was a demo only, and there was no slides. I'm pretty sure that's it. Either that or I lost the slides. I'm pretty sure there were no slides.
You did it on the chalkboard.
No, I did it without a network, and it failed because I didn't try it without a network before I tried it live.
A grease pencil and projector.
Play tablets is the only way to.
Paper tape.
All right. So back when Gary was starting to present in 1969, the ARPANET was started. The ARPA was the Advanced Research Project of the Defense Department. Now it's called DARPA. And it was a research project for networking. That kind of became the NSFNet in 1985. And in 1992, the internet started allowing commercial activity, although a few people